Smash them thumbs up, man. Put me in the algorithm. I just got off the phone with that boy Polo Poo, man. He doing good. He in good spirits, man. He say he'll be home. I'm gonna have Polo Poo coming on the podcast real soon, y'all. Really soon, man. But y'all check this shit out, man. We gonna be reacting to her childhood pastor tried to sleep with her. That's why these days, man, you can't trust nobody, especially around your kids, because people will groom your kids. Be sitting there watching your kids. You can't trust nobody these days. You got to be careful. But I'm gonna take y'all through this here, man, about this young lady. She say she was tried by her pastor who knew her ever since she was a kid. Check this shit out. Sky Jane TV. I'm locked in with y'all. Y'all locked in with me. Y'all already know what it is, man. Hit them thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe.
Right there, I'm like, he's definitely talking about what I think he's talking about. He sends an eggplant emoji. I was like, we're cousins. And keep in mind, I did not tell him his dad tried to have sex with me and get naked pictures and stuff. I didn't even tell him that. So this runs in the family.
Show your face. Show your face, please. With sugar on top. Isn't debatable evil, the desire to have it is. Desire to have it is. Money is the root of all evil, the desire to have it. The desire to have it is. Money is the root of all evil, the desire to have it is. The desire to have it is. Alright, y'all, now this is an interesting story, more so because of all the twists and turns that it take. And although the girl is telling her story of how her pastor tried to have sex with her, some feel that she's the one that caused it. I know, sounds crazy, but the girl describes how the pastor of her church that she's been going to since she was literally a child, and the pastor was a close friend of the family, found her OnlyFans account, and that's when he tried to make a move. Now, some people say she created an OnlyFans, so what does she expect? But she's saying, no, I didn't know that OnlyFans was only for what we know OnlyFans for. And some people saying she lying because OnlyFans always been an app for explicit content. However, you have those that say it wasn't in the beginning. Now, if you ask me, I always thought even since the beginning that OnlyFans was a site for explicit content. However, you did have guys such as Bandman Kevo and DDG who took a different route and used it to sell courses or knowledge, as they would charge their members a monthly subscription fee. So I don't know, but this is definitely an interesting story. I want y'all to tell me what y'all think after hearing how it all went down, and let us know who's at fault. Now, honestly, I don't care if she had an OnlyFans. If I knew you since you was a child from church, and I'm the pastor, and I'm cool with your family, it's no way I'm entertaining your OnlyFans. I don't even want you to know I seen it. Right? But to each his own, man. I'll put a TikTok in the comments in case y'all would like to see more of her content. But in the meantime, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. And if you not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it.
My pastor tried to sleep with me. I do have to give you a backstory so you can understand the severity of this situation. This did not happen at my current church. This happened maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. For obvious reasons, I couldn't speak about it then, too fresh, and I honestly was going to keep it to myself, outside of anybody else that went to the church from finding out, especially his children. His wife is my mother's cousin. What does that make us? Cousins, I guess? Cousin-in-laws? I don't know. But he was family. I don't just mean like a mere relative. Like, this is someone who we went to the beach with, we would go out to eat with. His children were super close to me and my siblings. We were heavily in the church. So we saw him and his family all the time. So to dive a little deeper, my mom is a minister. So outside of whenever he would preach, let's say he had to go preach at another church or maybe was out of town or was sick, that's when my mother would step in and she would preach in his place. We grew up in the church probably like 5 to 6 days a week, from choir rehearsal to praise dance to Bible study to church outside the walls. We even did Bible study outside of church, and she like planted a very deep, heavy seed of faith into me and my siblings, her and my father. And I obviously thank God for that, because that is one of the main reasons why I was able to develop a real relationship with Jesus now. Suddenly, one day, we just up and left the church. This pastor met me when I was like 7, 8 years old. So he's known me since I was...
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? I don't care if she probably didn't even get to that part yet, but I can't look at you in any weird way if I knew you since you was 7 or 8 years old. Like, how do you even feel? Now, that's a predator. She said she didn't want to release any names or say anything because of the Family and the children, but at some point you gotta let it be known, because who knows how much other kids he doing it to, who knows what he doing in the church, who knows? So we protected him, but I don't know.
I was a little girl. He baptized me. Him and my father were at one point sort of kind of like best friends. I had to explain that part so you can see how sick he is. If there's anybody watching this video that knows me in real life and grew up with me, obviously you know what pastor that I'm talking about. I don't know how far this video is gonna get. I don't know if this video is gonna get a lot of views. I don't know, but in the event that it does, I'm not sorry for saying any of this at all. I do apologize to his children, because I know that this is probably the first time that you're hearing about this. I'm not going to say his name, obviously, or put any pictures or anything like that. Let's continue. Now that you have the backstory, again, this was like 4 or 5 years ago. At the time this happened, I was like 20 years old, and I'm 25 now. This was around the time where OF was getting really popular. It wasn't exactly popular yet for what it's known for, but it was around that time where it was getting there. When it comes to certain...
Now, to be honest with y'all, like I told y'all before, I always knew OnlyFans to be explicit. It was always for like adult content, at least for as long as I knew it. And I knew it since the beginning when we started seeing the links, all the little bartenders, and that's how it started, right? Everybody started showing something off because the bartenders, the strippers, and all the girls that always wanted to do it, now they could do it in private because they could control who sees the content. So that's when I started seeing all the links, but it was always like pretty much adult content. I don't know.
In situations, I look at things for what they are and not what they are portrayed to be. Looking on there, of course, OF doesn't promote itself as that type of app. So when I made it, this was around the time I was heavily chasing my music career. If you know me, you know I used to rap and sing and all of that stuff, and I was heavily trying to pursue being a rapper and a singer. I was deep into my music career, like really trying to thrive and make a living off of it.
Yeah,
when I saw OF, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a perfect outlet to put all of my behind the scenes content on here, exclusive music videos, photo shoots, never before seen photos or unedited photos from my photo shoots. I had this whole big plan to put all of that stuff that I didn't normally share with my supporters or my Instagram followers on theirs. That is what I was using OF for. I promise you, that was it, and that was all. So on my Facebook.
Now, you know what? To her discretion, you did have a couple people that was rappers or R&B singers. They did post like behind the scenes content, so you could like subscribe to them and pay a monthly subscription just so you can see behind the scenes content. However, it was a very few people doing that, because once again, the OnlyFans whole platform was based around adult content. Right? But she's saying she didn't know, so let's see.
Only my family is on there. There may be a few of my friends or associates or people I went to high school with, but for the most part, it was only like family members. I posted the OF link on there, and I specifically put in the caption what was on there. So just thinking about that, even if I was doing that type of OF content, why on God's green earth would I post it on Facebook for my entire family to see? If I was doing that type of content, obviously I'm not gonna put it on Facebook. I get this Facebook message from my pastor. He's like, oh, like, wow, like.
Now you know why. Because she put the see? she put the content out there, right? She put the link out there. So the first thing, now just imagine, right? If you know what OnlyFans is for, if you know what OnlyFans is and you see somebody on your Facebook or Instagram posted, automatically you're assuming, right? I'm gonna say assuming. Automatically you assuming she's showing some type of butt, chest. Automatically you're gonna assume that. So I don't know, but maybe he assumed automatically and he took his shot.
An OF, and I was like, yeah, you know, I'm posting all of my music videos. I had a music video that I had just shot that I didn't release yet. I was giving like my supporters and like my family and stuff a first look at that music video. None of my music videos were explicit or anything. Yes, I was definitely cursing and stuff, but none of my music videos had nothing crazy in it. So then I get a new subscriber. My family, they're really, really good about supporting my music. So this was not uncommon. I didn't find this weird. I was actually like, oh my gosh, I'm getting another subscriber. There was only like 5 things on there. The music video and like the behind the scenes of that music video. So he liked all of them. And then he inboxed me and he said, oh, I have a question. And I was like, yeah, what's up? And he was like, is this the only content that you post on there? And I was like, well, that's all the content I have on there for now. I'm getting ready to post some other behind the scenes from this other photo shoot that I just did. So I don't know when I'm going to upload it, but I'm going to upload that on there soon. Then I'm also shooting another music video soon, and that's going to be up there as well. So I told him that, and he was like, oh, okay, that's it, LOL. And I was like, yeah, mind you, I did not know that OF was turning into a P app. I was completely oblivious to it, and not only that, it was still on the rise. Like, it wasn't predominantly that yet. And if it was, I had no clue, because I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm reading his message like, yeah, that's it. Like, what do you mean? I'm thinking he's about to give suggestions about other type of music content that I could put on there or something like that. But he comes out and say like, oh, you ever thought about doing any other type of content for her? And I was like, any other type of content like what? At this point, I'm starting to say, surely he's not talking about that. Surely he's not talking about that. There's no way he's talking about that.
Yeah, he is.
So I'm just in denial right now because like I said, he is in the family. This man watched me grow up. And my siblings and him and my daddy at one point was like this. And also, like I said, we did up and stop going to this church out of nowhere. And we joined a different church. My parents, they never told us why. They never told us what happened. We kind of knew something happened, but they never told us why we stopped going. Remember that? Because it's going to be important later. It was like
9 times out of 10, the parents already knew. That's why they left that church, right? 9 times out of 10, the family already knew, but they tried to keep it a secret because she was a kid at the time. But they already knew because it was probably already allegations out there. But once again, she posted the OnlyFans link, so he's thinking, if she doing OnlyFans, she giving it up, right? But then again, like I said before, I don't know. I can't see a girl that was 8, 9, 7 years old, and then I don't care how bad she look when she get older. I can't sit here. I don't know. That's just me, man. Some people, I don't know.
Hey, LOL, you know what content I'm talking about. Nobody wants to see the content that you have on there now. Like, who's going to subscribe to see that? So I'm like, I didn't know how to respond, but at the same time, I didn't want to run with a narrative where I think he's talking about something and maybe he's not. So I didn't accuse him of anything. I just left the message alone. I didn't respond to it. Then he double texted me like an hour later and he said, oh, I could pay you for the type of content that I want to see. Right there, I'm like, he's definitely talking about what I think he's talking about. I still wasn't running with it because I didn't have proof. He didn't come out and say that. And if anything got out, I knew that he could deny it. Because back then, the church folk that he had surrounding him were like die-hard churchgoers who would back him up to the ends of the earth. If I ever would have came out with this, I would have had to have severe, concrete audio and video proof of this. That's how deep they was going for him. I'm like, what type of content are you talking about? And then he says, I want to see you naked.
Whoa. I ain't gonna lie. But you know, listen, you know why he was probably so straightforward? Y'all know the stigma. You see somebody with an OnlyFans account, automatically you like, all right, let's skip all the games. You obviously in need for money, or you showing your body
crazy,
for money.
y'all.
So
this is a preacher. The
preacher
was talking to try to talk to this young lady
Whether you think
that
it's
was
right
going
or
to his
wrong,
church.
totally up
So
to
this
you.
is really
But
crazy, man.
majority of
And the
people
preacher
think
knew
that
this
if
young
they
girl
see you
ever
on
since she was a
OnlyFans,
kid,
9
bro.
times out of 10,
He
you have a
baptized
plan.
her like,
And it's kind
bro,
of
you
degrading,
can't
but
trust
you know,
nobody around
everybody
your
got their
kids.
own
Cause I
reasons.
have a daughter. My
It
daughter
is what
is
it is.
beautiful. Like, you gotta pay
Literally
attention
said,
to
"Did
who you
really
let
see
around
me
your
this?"
kids.
And he was
For
like,
real, for
"Yeah,
real.
LOL."
It don't matter if they the
And I
pastor,
was
the
like, "Do
preacher,
you know who this
whoever
is?
they
This
is.
is
For
Blank's
real,
daughter."
you gotta
I
have your
said my
guards
father's
up.
name. He was like,
For
"Yeah,
real,
I know
man.
who this is.
Y'all
I know
smash
who
them
this is,
thumbs
LOL.
up.
Like, I just want to see some content of X, Y, and Z." He then started being descriptive with the type of content he wanted to see, and even made an offer to see me in person. And so I was like, "So you know that this is Blank's daughter?" And he says, "Yeah." And I was like, this is Shawnee, like little Shawnee. And he was like, "Yeah, I know you is. You ain't no little girl no more, LOL."
Oh. He hit her with the, "You ain't the little girl anymore. You ain't no little Shawnee. You big Shawnee now. You got OnlyFans. You big Shawnee." Yeah, he was desperate.
I immediately called my father. Immediately called my parents. And when I got them on the phone, I was crying. Because I'm like, there's just no way that this man who's supposed to be family, who literally saw me grow up, like, dude, like, you baptized me and my siblings. You were in.
Wow. See? Predator. Straight. That's
in
crazy.
my house. I used to spend the night at his house with his daughter. I'm like, wow, like, you really is a creep. Both of my parents was livid, but they also had this side in their voice where they weren't surprised. I was like, why kind of sound like y'all not that surprised? Like, of course they was extremely mad, but they wasn't that, like, surprised. We're still talking on the phone, and I go back to the messages because I'm like, oh, nah, I need to show them proof. Of course, the messages are gone.
Yeah.
All you see is everything he ever said unsent. I had no proof, but of course, my daddy and my parents, you know, they believed me. Of course, they're not those type of parents. They believed me. That's when I got the explanation on why we really left the church. Something else actually transpired after it came out. The story gets worse. Did you bring this to the internet? It's just one of those things where you're telling the story time. You're not really looking for anything to come out of it, and it just so happened to just go viral. People out here are crazy. I'm thinking about, what if I say that and then they tie it back to my family and people try to, like, start harassing my family? Like, my family owns businesses. They have real lives. It's a lot of stuff tied into here. I have a lot of brothers and sisters too. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this.
So here's my thing, right? If she know her family got businesses, they got this and that, why even bring this to the internet, right? Because whether she says names or not, she's showing her face. And clearly people could put two and two together, right? Everybody that already probably know, the people that was in church with them, like, people know. So why even put that in jeopardy if you don't want all that getting out there? Because clearly if you're showing your face, people are going to put two and two together, and then it's going to come out like that.
So I will say I didn't expect it to get this big, but it is what it is now. So diving into the rest of the story, when I called my parents and I tried to go back and show them the messages and they were gone, of course they felt the way that the messages were gone, but they still believed me regardless. Like, I'm not one of those people that's just gonna lie. I believe in maintaining and upholding my integrity, especially in situations like this, and they know that I'm not gonna lie about something like that, especially given the knowledge that they already had. That's when my mother revealed to me that the reason we left the church was because God showed her and revealed to her that he was operating under the spirit of perversion. And from there...
So 9 times out of 10, the father and the mother already knew, and then they already got like a spiritual calling, or, you know, they already got an anointing or something, knowing that he was already operating out of some weird behavior. So they got away from him. So when she actually came with that story, it wasn't shocking to them because they already knew his forte.
She knew that means she had to leave the church and take her kids with her. So right after God revealed that to her, that's why we left the church. He did tell me that a few people have came up to her and confided in her about him, and all of that stuff just led up to us leaving the church altogether. When we left the church, I was young. we weren't at the age to where we would understand stuff like that, or where she was gonna break down stuff like that. Like, me and my siblings, we were young, so we just left the church and found a new church, and that was just it. As kids, you're not really gonna question it. Of course, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like, why we leave the church? But you're not gonna like think deep into it. You know what I'm saying? She didn't even reveal to me the identity of the people that came up to her and, you know, exposed him to her and their situation. She did not tell me their identity or even give me details of their situation, but she told me enough to show that it was that bad. So I was like, oh my goodness, really? And they just started expanding on it. And I'm talking to one of my cousins about it, and she's telling me how her mom experienced stuff with him, with certain nasty comments that he made. I want to explain more details, but I can't really speak on other people's experiences and what happened with them, because I didn't get consent to really tell someone else's story. So I have to keep stuff like that kind of vague and only explain exactly like my side. After that situation happened, a few months, maybe 2 to 3 months passed, and someone in my mom's family was having a birthday party or birthday something. It was a birthday celebration for someone in my mom's family, and we went. And of course, there was the possibility that he was going to be there. My parents did not know, but I told them I didn't want to go just in case he was going to be there. I ended up going anyway because my siblings was going, my dad was going, my mom was going, so I'm like, okay, I might as well go. If he's there, I know I'll be safe and protected because my daddy with me. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. We pull up, and of course, he's there. He's there with his wife and I think a couple of his kids. I don't know if his daughter was there or not, but I do remember seeing his 2 sons were there. My dad instantly got angry all over again. The way that my father wanted to react, he couldn't. If you are a father, you can understand how a father would want to react hearing something like that. This is a man that you was cool with,
like
basically
best friends with,
playing with
he
made a
their
pass on your daughter, and you found out about it, and he tried to like.
And
do
she a
some little
beautiful
freak
young
stuff.
lady too.
Imagine how a father would react to that. When my daddy saw him, of course, he instantly got pissed off all over again. The way he wanted to react, he couldn't, because my father has other children to raise, and that would have meant he would have went to prison for doing something. And I'm actually very surprised that my dad kept his composure the way he did and maintained self-control, because the situation could have got really, really worse. Someone else there that's related to my mom saw him very, very, very emotional, very angry, and pull him to the side like, what's up? Like, what's going on? Like, is everything okay? And my dad told him exactly what happened. So now he's upset because he also had his children around this man as well. Now they're like trying to figure out how to approach him at this birthday party. Again, I can't remember if it was a birthday party or maybe a family reunion or something. It was some type of event.
Yeah,
I said hey to a few family members,
bro.
and then I just went and sat in the car.
Shit
I was
crazy.
just so uncomfortable, especially when I saw my daddy and this other individual getting really upset, and both of them was like, nah, man, like, we need to go say something. The next thing I knew, we see him leaving, and that was that. Was no fight that broke out at the party. He ended up leaving before it could get to that point. I have been hearing that his wife knows and that she is choosing to turn a blind eye, and she is in denial of what her husband is doing. I have heard that multiple times, actually, that she is aware of what he's doing. So for those of you saying, what about his wife and what she has to do with? Apparently his wife knows, and she's not doing absolutely anything about it.
You know, sometimes it's not only that they're not doing anything about it, sometimes they really be in denial. Sometimes they really don't think it's true. Or sometimes they don't care enough because they say, well, listen, that's my child's father and we got to be with each other anyway. And he probably the breadwinner, right? So it's a lot of stuff that I'm not making no excuse. I'm just saying this is what go through some of the heads. Like, yo, he's the breadwinner anyway. If I leave him, I'm done. Right? And we got kids together, so unless I see it like for myself, or if I know it for myself, then, you know, it is what it is. But even then, they probably still gonna stay with him. Crazy.
I never told his wife. Me and her never really had a close relationship to where I could just like hit her up. I didn't even have her phone number. Like, I was only really close with her daughter. And I'm not gonna lie, think whatever you want, but I did not even feel comfortable telling her. How do you tell someone you're close with that their father is a creep and a sicko? Me and her kind of fell off. We didn't beef or anything like that, but we did like lose contact and weren't really talking like that. I can only imagine how it would feel hearing that your father is a predator and a sicko. So I don't know. I should have spoke up, but I'll be honest, I wasn't as brave back then to just face his daughter and his wife and say, yeah, your husband or your daddy tried to sleep with me. To make matters worse and add on to all of that, maybe like a year later, I ended up moving back in with my parents for a short period of time, and his son actually reached out to me. I think we were talking about my music or something. I can't remember why he reached out to me. He was like, oh yeah, we should meet up if you want, like, we could hang out. I didn't see anything wrong with it at first because me and my siblings were super close.
What? See, nah, man. Let me tell you right now. If your father, or if well, let's say you're a girl, right? And I don't care how close you are with the kids or whatever, if your father did something, and I don't want to even say anything because I feel that it might mess whatever up, I'd rather just keep my distance. I'm not linking with no brother, no sister, because guess what? Every time I link with y'all, I'm gonna be thinking about what your father tried to do. Know what I mean? So I don't get that part. But then too, right? Y'all gotta remember,
right.
She has this OnlyFans link, and if y'all go check her Instagram, she's pretty good looking. So shout out to her on that. So what these guys are doing, when they see that OnlyFans link, and I don't know if she still has it up, but when they see that OnlyFans link, what they're doing is, to them, they're automatically assuming. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that you know how guys are. If they see that you have an OnlyFans link and you look, like something, automatically they on it. Automatically they're on it because they already prejudge you and think that you're easy to get. So maybe the son seen the OnlyFans link. And another thing, I wonder, did she explain to her parents that she has an OnlyFans and that's probably why he approached her the way he did? I'm not saying it's right once again, because like I told y'all before, I don't care how good she look. If I know you from a child, I can't even attempt or even think about doing anything with you because I'm gonna always see you as that little girl. It's just weird.
Always.
And I got sisters, so it's weird. But maybe the reason why he came off like that is because she had an OnlyFans. I don't know.
With him, but then he texted me really late one day and asked if I was up. I was like, yeah, what's up? And he says, oh, I wanted to show you something. Yes, it's going there. I'm like, show me what? He sends an eggplant emoji. I was like, we're cousins. And keep in mind, I did not tell him his dad tried to have sex with me and get naked pictures and stuff. I didn't even tell him that. So this runs in the family. This is a family affair.
Yo, you gotta remember, once again, not only she has this OnlyFans link, maybe he's seen this OnlyFans link, and not only that, she's saying we're cousins, but they are cousins, because she said that, I don't know.
Nah, they not cousins.
Now I started
blood
feeling like,
cousins.
okay, so maybe y'all all know.
But still though, I still see her as a little girl though. I ain't finna just try to.
Like, oh, she all over the place. She can't tell the story time. Baby, you can keep scrolling. You don't gotta be here. But I'm gonna back up some more because I do have to specify something else. My mom that I'm talking about, the minister, she's actually my stepmother. So that makes her family not blood related to me.
So yeah, just like I said. So while she's saying, oh, this cousin stuff and
you're not blood,
and they like, we ain't really cousins.
Ain't really, right. We ain't really cousins.
You looking good,
right?
And we ain't cousins. We
right.
Not
That's
cousins,
what they thinking.
Not blood related, at least. So they shooting a shot. But is it a little? As far as the father is very predatory, very
right. He ain't no excuse.
Predator. Right, but when it comes to the young one or her cousin, she calls him. Nah, he's just shooting a shot. He's just trying to, he see that OnlyFans link. He's just trying to get in where he fitted.
The pastor's son, in his head, we're not cousins by blood, so I guess that's why he felt comfortable enough to think that I would want to do something with him. It's like, Jit, I've known you since you was like 5 years old. And we grew up as cousins. I don't care if it's by marriage or blood.
Mash them thumbs up.
Family.
Get me in the algorithm. Sky Jane TV, man. I'm locked in with y'all. Y'all locked in with me, bringing y'all all the urban news to the streets. You already know what it be.
So I immediately told her after that. I screenshotted that. And I
childhood church pastor tried to sleep with her after finding her OnlyFans.
And she was like,
well, why you on OnlyFans anyways, though? If a girl on OnlyFans, you already know what a person's thinking.
She literally never got back with me. I did not tell her about her daddy. I know that would have been a perfect time to say something, but I didn't go as far as to tell her about her.
I was just about to say, why she didn't tell her? Because guess what? Once she would
Why
have
she didn't
acted
tell him?
nonchalant, like, oh, I'm just, you know what? Now that we on this conversation, because I already let the cat out the bag with this one, you know your father tried to talk to me X, Y, and Z as well. But she didn't.
Her daddy, because again, in my head back then, I'm like, dang, I don't have the proof. I don't have the screenshots to show them. My parents believed me regardless, but anybody else, I just felt that they were not going to believe what I'm saying because I didn't have proof. I don't remember her apologizing for it. And of course, the son never apologized. The pastor, the dad, he definitely never apologized. He's actually still a pastor today. Say what you want, but this is something I have to pray on about revealing his identity, because telling a story is one thing. Sharing my experience is one thing. Talking about something I went through is one thing. But putting people's names and locations and revealing identities and all of that stuff, that's a whole nother thing. If I go out and do that, this is going to open up something huge. And if I'm being honest, this is one of them things where I didn't think this through to where I'm like, oh, what if it goes viral and then I might have to like take it further. I'll be honest and say I didn't think that far. I did talk to my parents before I made this part 2, and I let them know like, hey, I shared what Pastor so-and-so did, and the video now seems to be going viral. Do y'all think I should expose his identity and tell everybody who it is? And my parents told me to hold off on it and pray about it, because this is a situation that is serious. This could literally expose him for anything else he probably doing and bring it to the light. And I really want to be the one to help that situation, but I want to do it in a way that is not going to damage my family. But I'm also thinking,
see, I don't get it. It's like she's talking in circles. It's kind of contradictory. You either want to help, right? Because you already made it this far. And of course, you know that at some point somebody was going to ask who it is, because the right thing to do is, if you're going to expose him, the right way to expose him is to put his information out there, because he could potentially be doing this to other females. He could have probably already did it to her. Well, he did, actually. She said there's a bunch of other females that came up to her mother and said, oh yeah, this is what he did and this is why they left the church.
But at the same
so just
time,
think about
though,
it. He didn't just stop at her. So the more they just keep this
I really
secret,
can't say
the more females that keep accumulating these experiences with him, and who knows if he's getting past or not. Who knows if he's doing it with younger boys too. You never know at this point. So she got a decision to make, but it seems like she's on the fence. She wants to do it, but then she don't. I don't know.
About the
yeah,
other
but
victims,
he ain't touch her
other
when he
people
was
who
a
could
little
be a
kid, when she
victim.
was a
I'm
little
not calling
girl, though.
myself
He
a
ain't touch
victim.
her, so
He
he
touched
can't really
me. Who
say
knows
he
if
a
somebody
child
else
molester.
actually
But at the same
have
time,
experienced something with him to where it got that far, or they were groomed or coerced or even SA'd. If I feel led to reveal his identity and this situation gets that big, and if God puts it on my heart and leads me to reveal it, I'm most definitely going to do it. Again, if you don't believe me, I don't care. Another thing with the whole OnlyFans comment, y'all have to remember, OnlyFans was not made to be that type of app. People turned it into that. So for y'all thinking that, oh, what else did you think he was gonna say? Like, are you dumb? Like, are you stupid? That app was not originally supposed to be that. Come on now, everybody on here is not sick and twisted and full of lust and perversion and trying to get their rocks off. Like, there's literally people that...
Yeah, but...
that's what it was made.
Yeah, but...
That's what
I see what
OnlyFans
she's
made.
saying, but it's one of those things where if it quack like a duck, it's a duck. Maybe it wasn't. Let me tell y'all, they can't openly come out and say that it's for that, because it's going to turn into a on website. You know what I mean by on website.
Right.
Just put the P. So they don't want that, because clearly they don't want to be classified as that type of website, because then it's different type of protocols for that. So what they're saying is to have like anonymity, right? Anonymity, yeah, I think I said it right. Anyway, to remain anonymous and do whatever you're doing in private. What you do is you post it. That's what OnlyFans is about. It's about being able to be explicit in privacy. So that's the gimmick of their platform. But you can't say, oh, that's not what it was about. So who knows? We really don't know what it was about, to be honest with you. I always thought it was an explicit website. But I don't know.
That have whole cooking shows on there and sharing a whole bunch
Nobody
of
ain't paying for no cooking shows now.
This generation is so led by
nobody ain't paying to see no cooking shows.
Freaked out But you just gotta believe everybody that's on there is doing sexual acts. Like, that's crazy to me. Like I said, I did not make it with the intention of sending the mixed message that I was doing X, Y, and Z. Because I've seen somebody comment that's like, oh,
I'll just be careful who y'all have y'all kids around and stuff like that, man. Because this, I don't know what's going on with these pastors.
I posted on my Facebook,
but this been going on with them pastors. Them pastors been like that. Them pastors been fucking them women in the church, man.
Some of y'all not
For
even
real.
using y'all common sense and fully listening. Y'all just trying to
smash them
nitpick the
thumbs up,
story.
get me in the algorithm, man. Shit for free. It don't cost nothing, bro. It don't cost nothing, bro. Don't be no hater. Just hit the thumbs up, comment, like, comment, and subscribe, bro.
100% with whatever I decide to do. I'm gonna pray on it some more because this is something that could potentially open up a legal issue, and that's just that on that. Like, I'm not hiding or protecting this man at all. I really
See, you know what's crazy? She keeps saying this is something that could open like a legal issue, as if she's scared. But if he did what he did, it's nothing to be scared about.
Right. And how can it be a legal issue? Because you didn't say he touched her.
It's still there. It's still there. So if you do feel that serious about it and you want to get your story out, you can. It's nothing he could say he didn't do it. But if you if you feel wholeheartedly that this is what you want to do, and you tell him, no, he sent this in the messages, but he deleted it, there's ways they could get it back, especially if you contact a private investigator. Trust me. I ain't gonna tell you how I know, but just trust me.
He could care less about his reputation, to be
Private
honest.
investigator gonna do his job. He gonna find out everything he need to know.
I'm thinking about everything else that's going to transpire as a result of revealing his identity, because it is going to come with a lot more. And that's what y'all not understanding. Like, I know y'all just scrolling on TikTok, but this is actually like real life. Like, I want to leave this last message for those of you who are saying that this is why you left the church and y'all don't want to be Christians because of it and X, Y, and Z. I understand having bad experiences and stuff, but please do not let that ruin having a relationship with God, with Jesus. We are still human. At the end of the day, you're not going to church for the pastor or for anybody there. You're going there for Jesus Christ. You're going there to serve
y'all
and
comments
worship
down
the
below,
Lord.
man. What y'all think about this? Y'all think she was wrong because she had an OnlyFans account and enticed the pastor and enticed the son? Because the son had to see something on OnlyFans for him to
know what church to be a part of. You join a church and
to approach her like that, and the dad had to see something on OnlyFans or something for them to come at her like that. They had to do something, man. Like, she must be having some naked pictures on her OnlyFans or something for them people to come at her like that. Because ain't nobody that's gonna step to her like that. She had to be provocative or something.
He still saves. He's waiting on you to make a relationship with him. Don't
Something
let
ain't
no
right.
pastor or nobody's
This ain't making no
actions
sense.
keep you from getting to know the God.
She trying to cover her ass. She probably.
Let me say this, y'all. Here's another thing. You got, like, I see what she's saying, but at the end of the day, do you need to go to church to worship your higher power?
No, you don't. Church is in you.
God, it's about having faith.
Right, having faith. Church is in you.
You can worship God in your living room.
Your body is the temple.
So it's really
your
up
body
to you
is the
having
temple.
Faith. Would I recommend you going to church? Yes, but if that's not something you want to do, you don't have to do it. It's all about your faith. It's all about your worship, and you know, it's like
smash them thumbs up, y'all. Get me in the algorithm, man. Smash them thumbs up.
It took a lot of turns. I myself, I'm more concerned with the fact that she's on the fence about exposing him for her reasons. It's just the reasons that
me too, bro.
Lost me. It seems like she's more worried about the law side of it, the lawsuit or whatever the case may be, or her family. But at the end of the day, if this is something he really did and you really feel that you want to expose him, do it.
Right.
Do it. Because what's going to happen is he's going to keep
smash them thumbs up, y'all. I'm back at y'all with another reaction. Sky James TV. I'm locked in with y'all. Y'all locked in with me, bringing y'all the latest urban news and entertainment news to the streets.
But anyway,
y'all already know where to be.
Let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content.
For real.
Remember,
leave your comments down below. What y'all think, man? Y'all think she enticed the pastor and the son? What y'all think? She enticed this? She provoked them? What y'all think, man? Y'all leave them comments down below in the comment box. Y'all already know. Smash them thumbs up.